There are a lot of lessons in life that I've learned in 2023. And in this video, I want to just discuss that with you guys and hopefully share a lot of the insights that I gained that can also help you with whatever it is that you're trying to do. And a lot of these lessons are going to be something that you can start taking action on yourself today to hopefully have an even better 2024. So let's get on with this. The first biggest lesson that I learned in 2023 was the importance of showing your work. I cannot overstate just how important it is that you guys start doing this as of today. If you're a creative, if you're someone that's into making anything, or if there's something that you can be posting to offer to the world, do it. I learned this lesson big time in 2023 because I had a lot of opportunities that came my way simply because I started putting my name and my skills out there into the world a lot more. I am going to be featured in a book. The author wanted to have me included in her book because she learned about my life story on how I dropped out of college, pursued video editing, and now it became my career with no college degree. If you guys are interested in learning about my journey as to how I became a video editor, I will leave that video linked down in the description. It is an hour long, but it's kind of a podcast, so I hope you listen to the whole thing and you can learn something along the way. But the way that the author found me was through an article that I was featured in about my job as a video editor. And this article happened like a year ago. So the fact that I was willing to put myself out there to be a part of an article and just have that out there in the world, somebody picked up on it, read my story, and now I'm featured in a book. So right there is already one example of what showing your work can do. But that's not all that happened. You see, throughout the year, as I continued to put myself out there more, I eventually was featured on the editing podcast with Hayden and Jordan. And not only that, but I got to edit my own episode, which was an amazing skill increase for me because I've never done a podcast to that extent before. So I learned a lot of skills along the way while being featured on a podcast, talking to my fellow creatives. The only way that happened was I reached out to them on Twitter. And that's another example of me putting myself out there, mentioning what I do. And that led to this opportunity. And now get this, that opportunity led to eventually Adobe finding me, and Adobe wanted to invite me to Adobe Max. So I got to go to Adobe Max. Like that, boy, am I so fortunate for that. That was just incredible. If you told me that Adobe would one day want to work with me, talk with me, ask me questions about the editing sphere on YouTube, and allowing me to go on this trip to California to meet my peers, to meet a lot of more editors, creatives, people that work in traditional media, like at Warner Brothers, Universal, I never would have believed any of that could happen to me. But the only way that that happened was the courage that I continue to have to put myself forward and to vouch for myself. And the cherry on top for me about all these opportunities I got last year was I got to be featured in Business Insider's list of 10 influential editors, and I got to be alongside 9 other amazing editors in the YouTube space. But the fact that they wanted to give me the honor of being part of that top 10 list, I have no words. I know I'm not the best in what I do, but I don't try to be the best. I try to be the best me in what I do, to be my own creative, to be continuing my creative journey. And I just hope that along the way I find the right people that want to support me, and that has been working out tremendously. If you are a creative, I want you in 2024 to show your work. I want you to post whatever you make on Twitter, post it on Instagram, post it on Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever works for you. Start putting your work out there, and do not be afraid to share your work in any capacity and with anyone that you can. Because again, I feel at this point I've learned that eventually with enough grit, the right people will see it, and you never know what life will throw at you just for showing your work. Now, the second thing I learned this year is that I really want to be debt-free. And if you guys are wondering about that, is I have student loans I have to pay off for the times of me changing colleges and eventually dropping out and all this stuff. And I owe a lot of money. So my goal for this year is to chip away at it. The only way I can do that is I can take side work and continue to raise money through the side like that. I can try to increase the amount of money that I help Thomas Frank make for all of our channels. I can try to make my channel grow because I can start earning more money like that as well. But I feel the best way to go about it is just to be smarter with the current money I have now, figure out a way to really invest in it well, and not to take for granted what I make, because I'm very fortunate to be in the position I am. So I got to make the best of it. So hopefully in 2024, one of my big goals is to really chip away at any and all credit card debt that I ever accumulate, but as well as chip away at my student loans, because boy, am I tired of having them. Now, this last topic admittingly is heavy. So if you're a little uncomfortable maybe hearing about death, then you can feel free to skip this. But the last thing that I learned in 2023 was how precious life is and how our time is a lot more limited than we might think. And the lesson came from me in losing my cousin to cancer. And I won't get into any details out of respect for my family on this, but I can just share what I learned and how I felt in that time, because when I was going through really knowing how to deal with death in my family, because I've never experienced that before, I kind of went through what would be closest to like survivor's guilt, which survivor's guilt, I don't know the exact definition, but it's essentially like feeling guilty that I survived but not someone else. It's almost like if I was in a car accident with a friend and my friend passes away, I start feeling bad that why did I survive? Like I feel guilty for surviving but not them. It's something similar to that situation is what I went through. I just know that she had a lot of life to live, and I feel bad that she's now gone. And I started feeling really guilty about that, but what I took away from it after I went through the motions that I went through was that I don't want to take my life for granted, and I don't want to take the time that I have on this earth for granted as well. I'm going to make the most out of every day that I can. I want to be there for my family more. I want to continuously work for my goals. I want to know when to be present, because as future thinking as I am, I always forget that that doesn't matter. The future doesn't exist, the present does. So I need to make sure that I am present every day. And more importantly, to honor her memory, I want to make sure that anything that I get that can help my family or myself, because me and my family are close, I will do what I can to be there for them. Family is very important to me, and that was one hell of a reminder to remind me about that. And while a lot of these goals I'm going to be carrying into 2024, because I do have a lot of other little goals outside of these bigger ones, I just think it's important to remember what really matters to you every day. Now, I don't know about you, but every day, like I said, I'm going to keep pushing towards what it is that I want to do. But I just hope that in this video, you kind of learned a little lessons along the way. Sometimes it's good to have a reminder of what really matters in our lives. And for me, right now, being present for my family, taking care of my finances, achieving as much as I can for myself, for my career, and then ultimately just really being present with my friends and family. I cannot overstate how important that is to me now. So if you guys have any goals that you guys want to share down in the comments section, I would love to hear it. But I hope that you guys have a wonderful 2024. I hope that you continue to push for whatever it is that you want to do. And if there's anything that I learned throughout this year that I can make into a video to share with you guys for free, I definitely will. Thank you guys for watching though. If you are new, feel free to subscribe. I have a lot more videos that I want to make. Please leave a like if you guys can do that for me, because that just helps me in general with the channel. But above all, take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys in the next video.